But before we get to that, I am so honored to introduce one of our Jeremiah Program All-Stars, Ashley Havig. After being stuck in a cycle of substance abuse, addiction, and homelessness, Ashley and her son, Ashton, have found stability, support, and unconditional love on the journey for hope. Please welcome Ashley to the stage.
Good evening. My name is Ashley Havig. I wanted to start off by saying how grateful and blessed I am to be here today. I am happy to have been given this opportunity to tell you a little about myself and my journey so far with the Jeremiah program. I first heard of the Jeremiah program from my best friend in 2018. Her caseworker had mentioned the program to her, and we had been talking one morning over coffee and sitting in our home at Redemption Road. She explained to me that it was a program for single mothers who wanted to go back to school, and they also had daycare provided. I got excited about the whole thing because I would love to have had the chance to get my degree, because the years before, my mind was focused on other toxic things, and I never continued with school. I was addicted to meth and was constantly in toxic relationships. I started using in my early 20s. I was hanging around the wrong crowd, and it was just introduced to me. It started out as using it once in a while. Eventually, I was using it every day, and it was hard to focus on anything like work or school. I soon was jobless and dropped out of school. All that I wanted to do was use. I became very depressed and had no idea where my life was going. I didn't care about anything or anyone, and it made me into someone that I didn't even recognize. It was a vicious cycle of using, losing everything I had, getting in trouble with the law, jail time, and being homeless. I became pregnant during these times, and I continued to use during my pregnancy. I was full of shame and guilt, and I knew that I needed help. My son was taken away at birth, and luckily my mother stepped in to take care of him so I could go to treatment. I completed treatment, got custody of Ashton after a few months, but not long after fell back into addiction. This caused me to get Ashton taken away again. I got in trouble with the law, sat some time, and then completed another treatment. I unfortunately went back to a toxic relationship and fell back into addiction again. And felt more lost than ever, having those feelings of shame, guilt, and just all sorts of frustration that I could not kick this addiction to the curb. I found my way to Fargo, and this was a chance to start over. I came here with nothing and living homeless. I strived for a better life, but I just didn't know how to go about doing so. I got caught up with the law again, and this caused me to do another round of treatment. I told myself that this was the last straw. I physically and emotionally could not go on with my life anymore. I felt so down about myself, and I really could not look in the mirror and be happy. I was tired of hurting my family, but most of all, not being there for my son. I was tired of sitting in jail, gaining charges, and going back to the same old, same old. So I started going to Narcotics Anonymous meetings and being serious about my recovery. I heard about a Christian sober living called Redemption Road, and everything about this program sounded amazing to me. It was a safe place for me to go after treatment, and I would be able to do it with other recovering addicts. I rediscovered my faith and began to understand how foundational it was to my recovery. I have Pastor Dave and his wife Noelle to thank, along with everyone I met at Redemption Road. I got a job. I got a vehicle. I was meeting so many wonderful people. I was finally finding myself again. I stayed there for a year. Within that year, I did relapse. It was the straw that broke the camel's back, as they would say. I knew that life wasn't for me anymore, and I needed to kick all the toxic, still using friends to the curb. I had to do it for myself. Otherwise, I would never be successful with my recovery. I checked myself into treatment for the last time and finished successfully. They let me move back into Redemption Road, and I was able to go back to work and was going to at least 4 Narcotics Anonymous meetings a week. I wanted the sober and clean life so bad that I was willing to do what it took to get there. I started the Jeremiah Program Empowerment class about a year ago. That class was amazing, and it taught me a lot about accepting myself. We went over things that you know about yourself on a daily basis, but without reminders, you tend to forget. Being able to sit in a room with other single moms was empowering in itself, knowing that they were there for the same reason, to do better. We were all reaching out for help. By the end of the 3 months of class, I was able to tell myself that I was lovable, valuable, and important, and actually mean it. On the last day of empowerment, when I found out that I was accepted into Jeremiah, I burst into tears. I was so overwhelmed with happiness because this meant I was getting my son back. I almost couldn't believe that the moment was finally here, that I was moving forward, and Ashton was going to be with me. In December, I transitioned from Redemption Road and moved into Jeremiah. And in January, I was able to take my son home with me after the Christmas break. It felt right. I knew that I was finally at a place in my life, in my recovery, that I was ready to have my son back. I was nervous, but I knew that I could do this. I was so excited too, because I was bringing him to my own apartment and he had his own room. I knew he was going to be going through many new transitions, but with the help of Jeremiah program staff and calling my mom daily with questions, sometimes more than once, Ashton has gotten settled quite nicely, and so have I. Jeremiah program has given me the foundation to be a mother again, to be a student, and also give me continuous accountability that I needed to succeed within my recovery. I am currently going to M-State and on my last semester to obtain my 2-year associate's degree in liberal arts. I then plan on going to MSUM to obtain my 4-year degree in social work and then obtain my license for substance abuse counseling. I finally know what I want to do with my life. It's to help others that are struggling like I once was. I want to have common ground so that maybe they can see that recovery is possible. I have overcome many obstacles and reached goals that I've been working towards for years. I was on the president's list for my first semester back at college. I purchased my own vehicle and was able to pay off debt that was holding me back. It feels like I have been given a clean slate. I truly feel blessed for the life that I have been living now. On June 24th, 2020, I celebrated my year clean date. That was a super proud moment, and I hope to continue on this good path in order to do right by myself and also my son. About a week later, I got a job at a recovery center as a behavior technician. This is something that I've been wanting to do and was waiting for my year clean mark in order to do so. I have also completed supervised probation, and I had been on probation for the last 5 years of my life. Each piece of my past has led me to where I am at today. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the support I have had from my family, friends, programs, treatments, probation officer, care coordinator, Redemption Road, Jeremiah program, and people I have gained within my recovery and journey. Today, my routine is getting up and making myself coffee because honestly, I cannot live without it. I help get Ashton ready and head out the door. As I wear my mask, we head down the stairs and head to the community room to get our temperatures taken. We are asked a few questions, and then if both of us do not have a high temp, I am able to check him in on the tablet. His teacher, Miss Stacy, comes and escorts him into the purple room. He has 6 classmates and enjoys playing with Micah and Cammie. Then I get into my car and head to work or class. And in December, I will be celebrating yet another milestone, graduating with my 2-year degree. This will be one among others for both Ashton and me. Thank you to all of you, to my family, for your unconditional love and support throughout this difficult journey. I could have not done it without you. And to everyone who is participating virtually tonight, thank you for supporting mothers like myself through our journeys and helping us reach our goals.